With state electors scheduled to vote their choice for president next week, Donald Trump hopes for re-election, and it may depend on a lawsuit filed by the Texas Attorney General. The main argument of the case is that the votes of Texans and others were diluted by unconstitutional decisions over election procedures in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton explains on this week's episode of The Global Way.
Did these states conduct their elections in a way that we can be confident of the outcome, that we should, A, allow their electoral college slates to go forward as if nothing happened? And I don't think that is the case. The courts may intervene, state legislatures may intervene, and in the end, Congress may reject electors as well. So this fight isn't going to be over until January 20th, if then.
Now, you know about the 1997 Foster versus Love case decided by the Supreme Court. Apparently, on a vote of 9-0, the court ruled that federal law requires that elections be decided on a single day, by midnight election day. So what do you think of raising that argument before the Supreme Court this time around?
Well, I've always highlighted that law. It's 3 U.S.C. Section 1. Your viewers can look it up, and it essentially says that we're supposed to pick the electors on Election Day. And never before, at least in modern American history, did we have one result on Election Day that was changed in multiple states by counting that continued after Election Day. And I'm talking about President Trump won these states on Election Day, and that outcome was changed as a result of extraordinary and unprecedented counting after Election Day. And all the problems that have resulted from that have put us in the place we're in now. And federal law also requires that if they don't pick electors on Election Day, the state legislatures can step in and see and do what they need to do to pick a slate of electors, which is what I think those who are concerned about the compromised elections are asking the state legislatures to do now.
And Tom, I know you predicted this election mess. In Chapter 4 of your book, you sounded the alarm about dirty voter rolls, mail-in balloting. You pointed out that in California alone, 58 counties have voter registration rates exceeding 100% of age-eligible citizens. Now, regardless of who is ultimately sworn in as president on January 20th, what do we need to do to protect the integrity of our elections?
We need to clean up the election rolls to make sure if we're going to do mail-in balloting, the ballots are being sent and received from lists that are somewhat clean. But we really need to get away from mail-in balloting because it is so unsecure. Only, I think, 2 states have strong voter ID requirements tied to mail-in balloting. Everything else is just pinky promises, frankly. We need citizenship verification. It's too easy for non-citizens to vote in our elections because no one checks to make sure that only citizens are registered, practically speaking. And we also need to stop ballot harvesting, which allows strangers to go around collecting ballots and presumably doing whatever they want with them without much check. So those are the various issues that we need to approach to deal with to preserve and protect future elections. But in the meantime, all those issues, I think, should be litigated or brought before state legislators before they start messing with the election results from 2020.
Finally, Tom, we can't let you go without asking about Attorney General Barr's decision to appoint John Durham as a special counsel, extending the investigation of the Russia probe and Crossfire hurricane. Your thoughts on that? Because a lot of people wanted to see some big-name indictments. Those haven't come. Do we need an outside independent prosecutor to investigate the Justice Department?
Yeah, I mean, that's been one of the key issues is that you've had the Justice Department investigating itself. The FBI is part of the Justice Department as well. The president, in my view, should appoint an outside special prosecutor to look at all of these issues. I was disappointed the Attorney General made this appointment in secret prior to the election. It's amazing how all these decisions by the Justice Department all tend to inure to the benefit of the opponents of President Trump, while those wanting the rule of law promoted can't seem to get much in the way of justice from the Justice Department. And Durham's been a big fail in my estimation. There have been no serious prosecutions of high-level people, let alone investigations. And my concern is they've stayed away from people like Obama, Biden, Hillary Clinton, and have ignored wrongdoing by senior officials in the Obama administration and in the deep state. And I'm not seeing any evidence they're going to do much of different, even if Durham's a special counsel. I think the special counsel appointment guarantees we get a report, not prosecutions.